Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you don't just want a low price, you want the lowest price. And with our lowest price guarantee, you can count on us for competitive prices on all your home improvement projects. If you find a qualifying lower price somewhere else on the same item, we'll match it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Price match applies the same item, current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at lowes.com/lowest price guarantee.
See, I've been there, done it, since around. After all that, this is what I found. Nobody wants to be alone. If you touch the work on the phone, baby, you got it back when you're on the phone. Hang up and call us back. Oh, got it back. When you miss a day with the difference. Just say, don't get it there when I give my house, you don't have fun. That's all you think about. Got it there when you're out with someone, but you keep on yourself. Somebody else, you got it there.
Whoa ha ha, whoa ha ha, whoa ha 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 ha, whoa ha, whoa ha ha, whoa ha 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 ha, whoa ha ha ha, whoa ha.
Whoa ha ha, whoa ha, whoa ha, whoa ha ha ha, whoa ha ha ha, whoa ha, whoa ha ha, whoa ha ha ha, whoa ha ha, whoa ha ha, whoa ha ha. Whoa ha ha, whoa ha ha, whoa ha ha, whoa ha ha ha, whoa ha ha, whoa ha ha. Take it, XD.
Whoa ha ha, whoa ha ha. Whoa ha ha ha, whoa ha ha ha, whoa ha 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 ha, whoa ha ha, whoa ha ha ha, whoa ha ha ha, whoa ha ha, whoa ha,
Whoa ha, whoa ha ha, whoa ha ha, whoa ha. That's ignorant.
yeah. Hey everybody, welcome back to the blackest show about nothing. Straight from the dark side is Jade XD.
Oh, let me take it back then. I'm Jade, aka Big Red.
Ooh, I am XD, aka you don't always die from tobacco.
Okay, hello.
You just lose a lung.
Oh.
You don't always die from tobacco. Sometimes they just clip out your tongue. It's not worth the heck with the big hole in your neck. 'Cause you don't always die from tobacco.
Boop, boop. I think I'm going to be the Mrs. Frizzle of the underworld. That's going to be a new AKA.
Oh. So what are you going to, like, learn them about, like...
You like America.
True. A history lesson.
Nigga. I told Tokia this week, I told her I'm getting grown. But again, sometimes those paths don't cross. We gave Noah a real nigga history lesson on our drive back from upstate on July 4th and or on July 5th, and she was by the end of it, she was like, so when somebody tells me happy July 4th, I'm going to tell them you lie. And I was like, nah, you got to tell them everybody ain't free on July 4th. She's like, okay, so we weren't free July 4th. I'm like, yes. Yes.
Oh, Miss Frizzle, that's a cop. No, Keisha,
No, yeah.
that's a president.
So when we were trying
that's
to
Kamala.
when we were trying to explain it to her, she was like, when we finally like really broke it down or how the white people came over here and just fucked shit up and then just like created a government. She was like, so the government is like make believe. She like, they just made it up she's like, they just made it up. I was like, they just, boom, this is what it is.
Christmas and slavery girl made it up.
Child.
Just arbitrary.
Oh yeah, slavery, fictional, duh. Yeah. What?
Yeah. That's what, listen, by the time Noah has children, if she chooses to have children,
Right.
they
Right.
might have like slavery, or like the Deep South would be like an episode of like Fraggle Rock, like some mythical type of thing. You know what I mean? Or like a vignette under Eureka's castle.
Can you imagine a slavery depiction of like Sesame Street? like
Yeah.
Grover. Hiya, massa.
How many auction blocks? 1, 2, 3.
I'm Elmo. I work in the kitchen. Chef Elmo. I'm so sorry.
Today's show is sponsored by Spathbarilla.
Okra. Oh gosh! Wow, we better open up with a bang.
Yeah. So you went on a little vacation.
I did. I went on a family. We went on a little excursion upstate.
Oh yeah.
Upstate, to some extended family's house, and had a blast. Like the kids had a blast. We had a blast. Picked vegetables and fruit from the farm, cherries and zucchini and cucumbers, and my sis got butter lettuce, baby butter lettuce, and kale, and this is all things she's grown. And collard greens and Brussels sprouts and tomatillos and tomatoes and peppers and citronella and basil and Thai basil and thyme and nigga mint and this kind of mint, like all kinds of manners of shit, nigga. We made sangrias and pasta pomodoro and stuffed squash blossoms with sausage and ricotta and zucchini and goat cheese quiche. Nigga, it was just farm to motherfucking table, nigga.
Wow.
Amazing.
I love farm to table. I wish I could afford it.
Me too.
Well, actually, I wish I had a space
The
where I
means,
could grow
exactly.
the shit and,
It was just a motivation. That's what it was. So, and now we are planning or tying up as you have heard, the end plans of our first official Verrett family vacation.
Yeah.
Okay, I know we all got on the plane, went to New Orleans together, but it don't count when you go see your mother. So we are going on a trip in a little rocket ship. We are going to Portland, Oregon for a couple days, just go trek around flower farms and hikes and things like that. Then we're going to rent a car and scoot on down to parts of Northern California. Don't worry, I checked for the safety of it all and also checked with XD. And did some cross-referencing. Shout out to Crush Global. Kristen is amazing. She does Black travel plans where you can go, she took Fran and Antoinette and Shanti and a bunch of ladies over to Cuba some years ago. But she sent me an itinerary if you want to explore Northern California. So,
Awesome.
yes, you'll have to hit up Crush Global for all of your Black travel needs. She's got you. Do you hear me? Shout out to Kristen. So much love to you. I really, really appreciate that. And I'll post that in the description box. It'll be on my stories at some point over the next couple weeks when I'm able to post some of the places that she has sent us. So we're going to just, travel down the coast. We're going to trek through the redwoods and whale watch. And we're going whale watching in the middle of the ocean, and we're going hiking. We're going to Big Sur. Like it's going to be really, really, really nice, and it's going to be an experience that we get to have together, the three of us. So
That's so cool.
right, nigga, I feel so grown. I'm like the Black Beverly Goldberg.
Yeah, that's real family oriented.
I'm literally writing my
real.
list now of all of the dates and like that will be where, so that I can make the outfits, so that I don't have to just be throwing shit into a bag. I would like to be organized. Our water bottles, our hiking sneakers, nigga, our compasses and shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are you guys where are you gonna hike? Are you gonna hike in Yosemite or like Santa Cruz Mountains or anything like that?
No, we're not going to make it to Yosemite because I think that's a little too far.
It's hella deep. I didn't know
Yeah,
where you
it
guys
was.
were traveling.
I looked. It was some hours. It was some hours and hours deep, and like we're already traveling hours, but down the coast. So like our Portland to wherever we're going is like. Oh, shout out to the listener who told me about Trinidad, California. Instead of we were looking up this place, and Tristan found this place called McKinleyville, California.
Oh yeah, no, that's the sundown town, Queen.
Okay, so see, Jade, always trust your intuition. Let me tell you. So he's like, I don't know, I found some place called McKinleyville. I was like, ooh, that sounds real sundown-ish.
Yeah.
So he was like, tweet your people and see if anybody's from around there. So I tweeted and I was like, is anybody from around? Do they know anything about McKinleyville? Because it sounds like a sundown town. And they were like, yeah, there's a special group that has a meeting every Tuesday at the Taco Bell. Stay away, Queen. So they were like, go a little further this way, like to Trinidad, California. So, you're an Airbnb. Sometimes you don't know the exact towns, but the cute cottage we found off the beach and all this and that is where? In Trinidad, California.
With California style. Oh, and then you will stay mine. Love me like they do on Sunset and Vine. Love me like they do on Sunset and
So, we are not going to McKinleyville. We are going to stay away. But we did make sure that like we were doing this trip safely, fun. We're going to be traveling for a couple hours at a time. We got like places to stay and like Airbnbs that we got along the way in different places. So it's going to be. I'm really excited. I'm really fucking excited and really fucking proud of us, nigga. We like me and him did that shit. You hear me? We did that shit. It is not easy, nigga. It's like rent the car from here. Okay, we gotta have the car for this amount of time, but it's gotta be dropped off here because we gotta fly out of here. We need an Airbnb that's central to here so we can get over here, but then also get over here and have time to rest from this. It is no bitch.
Oh wow.
And the 8-year-old, she's just gallivanting through Brooklyn right now and don't know what the fuck is going on. Mm-hmm. Girl.
That's what happens when you're only child, Queen.
Heifer.
Wow. That's so like adult shit, wow, that's real, that's real hetero. Like that's awesome.
I know, it is. I know,
like,
it
that's
is.
That's real nuclear family.
No, it's real. It's real hetero. Like we deep in the hetero right now.
Yeah. Y'all are redefining Black parenthood right now.
Yeah, no, we are. And my cousin, we're meeting my cousins for the whale watching, who are driving over from DC. And
I feel bad for not going up there.
oh well, it's fine.
Well, I told you I'm going. I have another thing going.
You gotta
right
go.
after that.
Yeah, you gotta go. You got things to do, and we're going to see my mother. We're going to see my cousins. They're taking a RV trip across country. They're currently on right now. They've already gone to they're in Yosemite tomorrow night. They're going whitewater rafting and horseback riding.
Yeah.
Okay. 2 black ass parents from Cleveland, and then but now live in the DC area, and then we're gonna meet them with the kids, and we're gonna all take the kids whale watching. But they're like, their kids went to they went hiking, like they went like climbing mountain climbing and shit. They're going to Yosemite tomorrow. We're gonna do the shit we're doing, and then we all gonna meet up, go to whale watching, and then they're going back on their road trip, and we're going back on ours. But it's gonna be really like redefining Black parenthood, nigga.
That's so dope.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize it. Like California is a lot like New York in the sense of like outside the major city, every place else is Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So
Yes.
I'm so glad that woman that you mentioned, does Black travel, especially in Northern California, because I feel like, I joke about it. Like Northern California gets the bad rap. There are Black people there, and there are communities that are still thriving there, albeit small. Mm-hmm. But there's still communities there, and I think a lot of people don't necessarily know that because they get muddled down by a lot of the stuff else that happens in the state.
Yeah.
But that's really good. Like, and also again, be mindful of when you're planning those things. Of there's not all of California is
Nah. Especially that northern region, that little Oregon, California border and shit. Oh, no,
like
be careful,
weed,
nigga.
like weed, California, and all that good stuff. That's towards like north, like Redding and stuff up north. No,
No, I'm good.
even in Central California,
No, I'm
stay
great.
on the water.
Yeah. And see,
And even then, not all of the water either.
no, I noticed. McKinleyville is not far from the water. However,
No,
it's not. It's clearly different from Trinidad. So, nigga, I didn't even know there was a Trinidad, California. Like, did you? Mm-hmm. Wow, that's so fascinating.
Yeah.
Have you ever been there?
I don't know if I have. I know that we have been along like the Oregon California border a lot, like in the because that's where we would go to our Wild Ranch in Redding, and then like drive up, and my uncle would do a lot of we do a lot of road van trips, and it's so weird because now I think about it. Like, they didn't have Airbnb in the 90s.
Nah,
so I'm like,
nah.
who do you call? Who did you call back then to rent these houses? Because it was a bunch of us kids he would take. So I'm like, you know, like, I remember we went to this place, Pine Valley or something, and it was deep in the mountains. Like, we had to be careful driving because it was like one false turn and we would have all been cat food. So... But it was this huge, like, palatial, like, mansion type thing.
It was
But I'm
probably
like,
some kind of resort or something.
well, I
Not
don't
resort,
know.
but you know what I mean? Like some kind of
Like
vacation
timeshare
spot.
kind of
Yeah,
thing? I guess
timeshares. Those
that
been around
that
for a
makes
long
sense.
time.
Niggas had timeshares.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Because it was huge. And even, like, when my mother, we used to do, like, Thanksgivings with her best friend's family a lot in Tahoe. Mm-hmm. And there's like 97 of them. They're like the Winans, nigga. It's like, yeah.
Sorry.
We had. I remember they had like a 3-story house. It was cool. But you're gonna really like it.
Yeah,
Noah's
I'm
gonna
excited.
love the aquarium because I loved it when I was grown in high school.
I heard it's an amazing, and you know, I'm not really one for the aquariums and the zoos, but I will go to I'll go to them. I just don't love the captivity just, it fucks me up. But
Yeah. So
the nigga's in there, like, so I'm gonna go see him. So
here's the thing. I've been sitting under the high grade willow tree as per usual, but I've been a lot more introspective lately about animals. I think it's because we watched Noah, which is
yes,
a Hollywood's odd take on the Noah's Ark biblical story, because they have so they have granite monsters that are supposed to be angels. It's really weird. But I was thinking, right? Mm-hmm. You know how I'm against animals in captivity, but I'm also like, what if, there are spaces for them because of poachers? You know what I mean? Like wildlife reserves. I don't mind wildlife reserves so much as I do zoos. Mm-hmm. But then I think of the aquariums, because I'm like, there's just as many poachers out there too.
yeah.
Yeah.
I know it is, and that's the part. Because I'm like, whales and or whatever, dolphins and killer whales and shit like that don't belong. Sharks and shit, they don't belong in this. But like I said, they're in there, and I don't really know what to do with that. So, I try not to eat Chick-fil-A. Yeah. So I just, it's fucked up, but that's just where we at.
Yeah.
Nuke the whales? You don't really believe that, do you?
I don't know. Gotta nuke something.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the trip.
Well, at least you had way more of a eventful week than I did. I had to work.
You did, but that's all right.
Well, yeah, I had to work. I had to do some editing, and then I had to assist a friend in drag.
Yes, you did. Yeah,
I
you did.
I'll tell you that story later when it premieres.
I'm
But-
actually really excited for you all to meet her.
Yeah, me too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's going to be happening very, very soon. I'll announce it. You'll see when it comes. I am not in drag, so don't even know.
Oh no, it's not XD.
No,
It's not XD. It's another
It's
friend.
not.
Shout out to
Listen,
you, friend.
Yeah. But yeah. Also, I lost a friend of mine,
I'm
Aisha K.
sorry.
Faines. She was a part of the Grapevine universe on the internet.
Oh, my
She was a
goodness.
writer. I met her in like 15 years ago, like when we were in college, and she was really sweet and kind. We've even worked together in a couple projects. She's did stuff for XD, and it was really sad to hear of her passing. But
I'm
I
sorry
know she
to hear
touched a lot
that.
of people. Yeah, really, it's always jarring when you hear somebody your age pass away.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's like, gays already got to deal with that because of the added element of what we have to go through health wise.
Mm-hmm.
So it's already like daunting to hear that stuff. But it's also not to say that everybody's Anyway, it sucks hearing young people die,
Yeah, no. It's that's
especially
never-
when you are the same age, because you're already dealing with this idea of like your own mortality,
Yeah.
and then it's like, damn.
Yeah.
Damn, she was so great. But what else happened this week? Yeah, we had to it was drag in here. Let me tell you something. Drag in person,
I'm so
takes up
excited.
it takes up a lot of space.
Well, yeah, because it's a lot of things going on, Fred.
Oh, I know. But you know how it's like it's just I understand the process, but it's just up close I'm like, oh, well, this is the whole lab. You know what I
yes,
mean?
honey.
Like this is where they developed the damn vaccine. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh.
So, but I'm excited. But anywho, we're on Patreon. The $7 holla. When I tell you we are about to do something amazing this fall.
Oh my gosh.
So-
I'm so excited.
The thing that we have been teasing is finally complete.
Yes.
And we'll, it'll be out sooner than you think.
Yes. And I hope you
Yeah.
all enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm super excited. But $7, you'll get the sneak peek there first, along with all of the other stuff we talk about. Love After Lockup,
Cereal.
RuPaul's Drag
Race.
Yeah, Cereal. Rolling in the Hood,
Hood tours.
reaction videos.
Yeah,
Hood
it's a good time.
tours. We have a Wang Dang Doodle, and that's where we can actually talk shit for real.
Yeah.
You know.
Because if you... Never mind. I'm going to leave that alone. But yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yes, because I can't wait till we talk about Love After Lockup on there, because now that I know more information about you, listener lady, girl, how dare you let that Juanita Bottom think you're poor?
Child. No, that was his fault. He had
I know.
He had NSB thinking he was poor.
I know, but still. So for those reasons and more, please sign up for our Patreon.
Woo.
And we're getting really deep in Serial now. We're approaching episodes 3 and 4 where, we get into the meat and potatoes. I can't wait till we get to Christina Gutierrez, who is the worst lawyer
Ever.
Yeah. So, things are happening. Things are moving.
Ho, 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 ho. We have Goddess.
I know. We
Yo.
lost Goddess.
That's wild.
I know. And she just had a baby, apparently.
That's also wild.
Yeah, I know.
So I feel really bad for the child,
Yeah.
you know, is growing up with, you know, parental issues at the gate. But, you know, as much as we talk shit about them, you know, I don't want it to end like that.
No.
You know what I mean?
No. Nah, not like that.
Not
Like
that.
see, but this is the problem, honestly, with our system is what we talk about often, the lack of rehabilitation. And you know, that lady never really they never really like gave her an opportunity to really like get it together. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, I'm sure she got way more of an opportunity than a lot of black women up in there. Let's be very clear. Even her getting out. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's just the system itself is not set up to help people to rehabilitate themselves and to do better. And so I feel bad that that's the way she went out. And you know, I really, really do feel bad for that child. So I send that child love.
Yeah. That was some rough news. I was like, damn, not Goddess.
Not Goddess, man. And they wasn't together, right? That baby wasn't his?
No, Clint, no.
Okay.
She had moved on to a younger gentleman.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yes, that's the latest.
Yeah, so again, sign up for Patreon. We have more things coming down the pipeline that are coming sooner than later. Also, make sure you follow us here on Spotify. There's going to be some. It really helped us out if you not only subscribe to Patreon, but also just click the follow button on Spotify.
Yes.
That'd really help us out a bunch. And do I have anything else? Anything else we gotta?
Nope.
Shush. All right. Let's take a break, and we'll be back after these messages.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Oh yes, wait a minute, Mr. Postman. Hey, Mr. Postman. Oh yes, wait a minute, Mr. Postman.
Letter carrier busted. Stealing money out of the mail. Things like money stuck into birthday cards sent to family and friends.
Well, the post office became suspicious, and they turned to technology to solve their hunch. News 8's Bob Wilson has more. He joins us live tonight from Arthur Grilling.
And we're back. So today we're doing something different, something that we don't normally do. And it's a mailbag episode. So we, over the last year or so have accumulated a bunch of stuff and voicemails from on Anchor and on the voicemail number that we have listed in our description box. And tweets and Insta DMs, all that good stuff. So we're going to answer and listen to some of them today. Do you want to list the first ones, Jake?
Well, first I want to know, before we even start that, nigga, have you ever gotten fired from a job?
No, but
What?
I have not gotten fired. I am not proud of this, but I have not gotten fired, but I have been involved in people's firing, if that makes sense.
Oh, you been the paid hater.
No, here's the thing, though. It's not because... Let me explain. I have a couple stories, all from the same company. Wait until I write this book. So anyway... if y'all watched that SVU episode I told y'all to watch, I'm telling you that shit was about my damn old job.
Okay, you did.
So,
You did.
the first one, the very first time that I was involved in a firing of someone, I was working as a front desk supportive housing facility.
Mm-hmm.
And I worked overnights.
Mm-hmm.
I did it because I was doing XD full time, and so I just needed some extra money or whatever, right? So there was a stud who came in before me on the shift before me named, what's the stud's name?
Don't do this to me. Kiosha. Oop.
Okay.
Somebody real. Never mind.
Okay, so Kiosha, Kiosha was a big stud.
Yes.
like I'm telling you, big stud. She talked like your husband. Like it was like if your husband like if she wrote up on your husband is like big and scary as he is, he'd be like, whoa.
Yeah, about 6 feet, size 14 shoe. Yeah, nigga, I know her. I know.
Kiosha was big as that. But so she was also very like one of those people who thought she knew she knew the company, like she was a founder.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Oh.
But she would always be like, I'm the man. She would say, I'm the man around here. Everybody loves me. Yada yada yada. Blah 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 blah.
Okay.
So cool. I start work now. Mind you, I meet her once. I never really talked to her because she always goes home or whatever. But she always tries to make conversation with me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm got the feeling that I thought that everybody liked her. As soon as she would go home, all the tenants left me. They're like, no, fuck that bitch. We don't like her. And they would say a lot of, misgender that person. And all that good
I
stuff.
don't like that.
Right. Neither do I. And also, they were also people who
we know
lived with dual diagnosis and all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So one night, one of the tenants happened to come in drunk, whatever. Now, he asked to come, he locked himself, lost his keys or whatever. He was like, can you open the key to my apartment because I'm locked in or whatever. I never have a problem with that because I'd much rather you be drunk in your apartment than be drunk out in the street in the hood where we was at.
Word.
So Kiosha was like, no, I'm not. You need to keep up with your key.
I'm sorry, what? You're not my mother.
Right. And that's exactly what he said. He was like, yo, you make like $1 an hour. Like, why are you?
It's ugly.
Right. But the point is, he was like, you don't own this. Can you just unlock my door? There's nobody here. Mind you, I'm eating my sandwich because it wasn't time for me to start yet.
Right.
So
I think about their memes when they be having the people that's like, when it's my time to clock out and this is what the shift looks for the shift behind me.
Hell.
If you fucking hell.
Exactly. So I'm just eating my, Subway sandwich before I knew better. And I was like, this is juicy. So things get heated. And so all of a sudden, Kiosha grabs her proverbial dick, if you will,
Kiosha
and
used to do that.
curses the tenant out and was like, suck my dick and blah, blah, blah. Now, mind you, I understand. Like, you get upset, right? When people piss you off, customers, whatever. But all this man asked you to do, and he's clearly drunk, and he was cool at first, to be like, can you just unlock my door? He asked nicely. And I was like, yo, come on, man. I'll do it. And she was like, no, you're not on the clock yet. And I was like, bitch, okay, whatever. So she threatens him and gets in his face.
What the fuck?
Right. And so then he throws something at the glass and breaks it because there was a partition between us. So, of course, we had to write all this stuff, right? So then, a couple of days later, I get a call from HR. They were like, hey, can you come down to headquarters? We would like to have a meeting with you. I'm like, oh, Lord, I'm getting fired because of X, Y, Z. I don't know what happened. And so they called me down there, and they were like, so we heard what happened, and we want your side. And they were like, make no mistake. This has your little testimony will get out. This has no bearing on our decision. I'm
Lies.
like, okay, whatever. Little did I know that this person has had a history of attacking clients in that place before. So I was like, I'm gonna be honest. All he was really trying to do was get his door unlocked. It would have been this would have been like donezo if you would just open the door.
It didn't
he
have
would
to
have been
be
sober.
all that.
You would have had your job. It would have been cool. Mind you, Jade, this situation happened at 10:45. Mama was supposed to get off at 11 o'clock.
See,
Mama stayed until 12 o'clock to get this situation taken care of. Mind you, there's no adult staff or other adult staff. There's no like senior staff. It's just me in there and her. As soon as she left, I was like, yo, Keo should just leave. And as soon as she left, what happened? It was Nirvana in that motherfucker.
So she was the problem.
Mm-hmm. So that was one of the stories. I'll tell another story later.
Child. Okay. Oh, you're going to tell it later this episode?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I have several of these.
I have been fired.
Ooh.
A couple times. Not a lot in my whole giant working history, but a couple of times. Did I ever tell the story of me and the security guard at Sony?
Not that I remember. I typically remember your stories.
Okay, so so I'm working at Sony, and no, I did not get fired from Sony. I actually got laid off in a round of layoffs. But it was one particular night that we were going bar hopping after work. And I was going to go, I had a friend who was in town, so I was going to stay at her hotel because I was living in the Bronx. Her hotel was in the financial district. So I was like, bitch, ain't nobody traveling back and forth like that. She was like, nah, you going to stay in the hotel. So I brought a suitcase with me to work, right? Mm-hmm. And I had a badge, and so it was never a problem to get in after hours or whatever. So she meets me at my job. We go get drunk all over the city, and then I come back to the office about like midnight so I can get my bag and go back to the hotel. Again, it's never been a problem to get into the building after hours with your badge. They did not, whoever this one particular security guard was did not want to let me in. And there was a security guard downstairs, because this is when we were in Midtown. There was one downstairs, and then you had to pass them to get to the elevators to get upstairs, and then there was another set of security. And then there was another set of security before you got on the elevator banks to go to the offices and stuff. So I'm like, yeah, I work for the business and legal department, floor, blah, blah, blah. Here's my badge, da-da-da. I just need to go get my suitcase under my desk. Would not let me in. Your badge is not a sufficient badge. I said, what the fuck does that even mean, nigga? It says what department I work in, my name, here's the floor, here's the department, here's my like, what is the problem? Just would not let me in. Kept telling me that it wasn't a sufficient badge. So I was like, you need to call somebody in higher security because I need to get my motherfucking drawers from under my desk. Mm-hmm. Well, it got heated. He threatened to call the police on me. And I left the building without my drawers. So go back to my homegirl's house. Go back to her hotel, stop at her Dwayne Reed, grab a toothbrush or whatever, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to have to make something work. The next day, I have to go back to work, obviously. Like, we were in our 20s, right? So what was gallivanting during a work week? Nothing. So the next day, like, we have plans the whole weekend or whatever. She might have come in on a Wednesday or a Thursday or something, and I just had to work the remainder of the week and then have weekend plans. But the next day I have to go to work. But I don't have no clothes. All my clothes for that day were underneath my desk. So I left her hotel early and did the whole stroll into the building.
Yes.
And here comes security guard Coco. Come here. What's up, Coco? Good morning. What's going on? You had that on yesterday. I said, Coco, I'm here early. I need to go upstairs and get myself together. Please move. So,
mind your business, Miss Coco.
Coco's like, before you go upstairs. She was like, there's a tape circulating in the security office. And all we see is your afro shaking back and forth. Let's just say from that day on, I had died. That was where the name Beige Rage came from. And the security guards had a wang fucking dang doodle behind that security footage. It's what could have got me fired. There's a couple more, but you know what? Like you said, we'll go into those. We just wanted to open up a little bit with something before we get into some of you all's business. You want to go first?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I'm going to read an email.
Okay.
Hey, Jaden XD, I love you. Love you, love you, love you. Okay. So, love you too, girl.
Love you.
I have a hilarious. Ooh, did I have a stroke?
Every week. You'd be trying to get us.
Girl, listen. I have a hilarious firing story regarding the aforementioned deceased BFF. Oh my God. Wait, maybe I should read this before.
Read the...
Hold on. Hello, Jaden XD. I started listening to your podcast once I moved and got very lonely, but lucrative. I know that's right. Job.
And
I was hooked on the read and stumbled upon you guys and the suggested list on Spotify. I became completely enthralled with your podcast after I heard Jade's voice because she reminds me of my recently deceased best friend, and it brings me great comfort to hear you guys just talk. Oh, now I feel bad.
Oh, I send you so much love.
Yeah, I send you much love too. Don't hate me. I'm just a hateful homosexual.
You can hate him. You can hate him. He's hateful.
Hateful homosexual.
And hateable. Oh my God, that's your theme song. I can't wait to develop your show.
Hateful homosexual.
Do, 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 do.
By Saban Films. Yeah. Fuck you, Power Rangers. I'm the real Pink Ranger.
Okay, can I ask a very high question, maybe slightly problematic?
Sure.
T-Rex was like a nigga, right? He was like a black dinosaur. Which one was the gay dinosaur?
Oh, the one that had the collar.
Oh, okay,
the
yeah,
one that, The one that shot at...
looked like the Velociraptor?
You know, it starts with a D. The one...
Yes, hold on.
The one that shot that gunk at old boy from Seinfeld.
Yeah, Newman. Dinosaur with collar.
And the only reason why I say it is because it's... You found it. It starts with a D, right?
Dilophosaurus.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dilphosaurus?
Hold on.
Why doesn't Google have like...
God, bitch. Well, hold on.
Quote. On Lipstick Alley, Jaden XD can't read.
Neither can your mother. Let's see here. Wait, what? Dilophosaurus.
Dilophosaurus.
There we go.
Whatever the shit that Newman got shot with in Jurassic Park, the first one.
That's okay. So a Dilophosaurus.
Stick, stupid. That's a stick.
Little kitty, I can feel your body feeling, and it's calling my name. Are you gonna pay attention? Do you wanna play my game? Let's get all of the basics. Get straight to the position.
Okay, I just wanted to know.
homosexual.
That makes sense.
Or
'Cause
the
the
Brontosaurus, because we have a long neck.
I thought about the Brontosaurus just because that's you, but I think the Dilophosaurus is actually because it's very Project Runway.
It's like the peacock version of a dinosaur.
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
So, we apologize, AC.
Yeah, sorry. Alana and I started our first job together at a hippie natural store called Rainbow Blossom. Yes, that is really the name.
I love that.
I would low key go there.
Mhm.
Is that like Tuesday morning? But it's not a health food store.
Or racist. It's not racist.
Yeah. We were cashiers, and while I was a responsible workhorse, Alana was a bit of a loudmouth. We were legitimately the only two black people that worked there, and we were clearly a diversity hire. We were both freshmen in college out of state, so when the spring break finally came about, we had to go home and pay for our overbreak housing. Go home or pay for our overbreak housing. I hated that shit. That was so dumb. Anywho. Alana and our boss always butted heads because Alana was very outspoken and sassy. She said what she wanted whenever she wanted and didn't fit the culture. Read, she couldn't white it up for the customer.
That's right, Alana.
We speak your name. Rest in peace.
Okay.
After we turned in our paperwork for us to leave for 2 weeks, our boss decided to pull Alana aside and tell her she wasn't going to be on the schedule once our break was over. The problem was she told her at the beginning of her shift, and Alana was a closer, so he had all shift to stew and be pissed. Oh, so she had all shift to be stewed and be pissed. When her shift was over, she had concocted a disgusting goodbye and final Alana shat on my boss's desk.
Oh my gosh.
Right in the middle of the desk and covered it with her work apron. So when our boss went to take the apron off her desk, she was greeted with an enormous shit right in the middle of her desk on her monthly desk calendar.
That is this emoji is literally the face I'm making.
So I had no idea what Alana had done, and when I came back from break, I went straight to Rainbow Blossom to check their schedule for work. I knew Alana had been fired, but I genuinely walked in like an idiot, all happy, like, "Hey guys, so glad to be back. Just checking the schedule to see what my next day is." These white people looked at me like I had 7 heads, and all of them had their panties on top. I was quickly escorted to the boss's office and was told not only was I fired, I was also banned from all locations and sister stores in the city. I still had no idea why, and when I went to protest, I was told I was lucky they didn't call the cops on me and Alana. I was promptly ejected from the store, and literally the doors were locked behind me. Of course, the first person I called was Alana, who punctuated the story by saying, "I'm glad I shit on her desk now." My jaw dropped and we laughed about it until the day of her untimely death, but we also vowed to never work together again. Mind you, we went on to have at least 4 more jobs together and were fired as a duo from 3 because of her antics. It was never a dull day with her. But that's the story of how my best friend got me fired from my job by shitting on our boss's desk. I hope you guys at least have a laugh from this. Keep cherishing each other, and thank you for all that you do. It leaves me up every day.
Oh my God.
Much love to you,
Oh,
and
so
rest in peace,
much
Alana.
love.
But that shit was funny.
First
I'm
of
glad I
all,
should've
she
heard
has the
that
perfect name. That is funny as fuck. Alana, we speak your name for like when I tell you I will never forget that. I will
Alana's
never.
story.
Alana's story. And fuck Rainbow Bright or whatever the fuck.
Rainbow Blossom, wherever the fuck that is.
Hold on,
I'm not going
finna
to Google
see.
it.
I am.
Because I don't want to, out where they are.
Why? Fuck them.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Oh, they are a natural food market. Well, where y'all at? Well, where the fuck is Kentucky? You know what? I'm glad Alana shit on her motherfucking desk too. I wish she would have shit in her shoe.
Or like Olivia Octavia Spencer did in The Help, where she made shit
pie. And it's a health food market, bitch. I hope it was a healthy shit.
Okay. Watery.
Wow, fiber. Should I do one more email and then we move on to another batch of things?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's look at another one. Hey, Jaden XD. Please give me a fake name if you use this story. Oh, we will. And your name. Give her a name.
Kiosha. From Biloxi, Mississippi. Shout out to the listener who went to Biloxi, Mississippi.
To Sonic.
Y'all think we don't read, but we do.
That's our kind of caring ego.
Yeah.
We have to read. We have to be able to, reference
We
stuff.
gotta know what's going on.
I just can't stay. I do pass-throughs, like parties.
Yeah.
All right. Kiosha says, hey, Jaden XD. I used to work in one of the major hospitals in a city. I was in my early 20s at the time, and I was an extreme knucklehead. While I worked my ass off, I could never get there on time. One day, I was having some good, nasty-ass sex, and unbeknownst to me, this was also the day I was getting fired. I got to work late as usual, and my boss called me into her office. I cried and begged to keep my job because I just moved out my mother's house and I didn't want to go back. Of course, she fired me, and when I finally left her office, I went to the bathroom. While looking at myself in the mirror, I realized I had a whole handprint mark. I had a whole handprint mark on my neck from the sex that I had that day. While I was wow. Oh, wow.
Well, okay.
While I was extremely pissed that my asshole boss fired me, I couldn't help but laugh because she most likely saw what was left from a dude's wrapping his hands around my neck during sex. Sidebar, a few years later, I ended up moving a few blocks away from that boss, and every morning we crossed paths while she walked her dog. All I could think was, bitch, you fired me. I almost lost my apartment. Now I live around the corner in your exclusive, predominantly white neighborhood. I wish her ass would slip on a crack and bust her pale ass knee open. LOL. A closer.
Right.
Well, girl, though, Kiosha, girl, why did you wear a turtleneck that day?
Right.
Sheesh.
You know better.
You know better.
Okay, so here's one. This is from Twitter.
Okay.
I set it off, wrote in. So boom. I was working at a call center, taking billing and tech support calls for a cable company. Some white demon called, yelling about her services being cut off.
Y'all.
Bitch hadn't paid the bill in 3 months. So this kind of happened to me. So I offered to take the payment and explain billing cycles and all that shit. Had to hit all the quality assurance points. Mama is still yelling, and at this point, I'm getting mad. Here's where shit hit the fan. I thought I had hit the mute button, but must have double tapped it. I sat straight up in my chair, huffed, and said, man, you really need to get the fuck off my phone. Silence. Then she goes, excuse me? I looked down at the phone and the damn mute button wasn't lit up.
Oh, no.
So I'm like, shit, here we go. So she requested a supervisor and I tried to pass it to a supervisor I was low-key fucking around with. You know, call center shenanigans. Put an asterisk in that part right there.
Yep.
I'm going to... Karen complained to her, called back the next day to speak to the ops manager, and called corporate. Ooh. So let's take a pause for the cause. Let's talk about call center shenanigans.
Please.
I have worked in Minty of call centers, and they are all the same.
Mm-hmm.
It's always niggas with khakis that are way too big.
Mac.
Yeah. And you know, chicks in there who have various types of weave. I'm not going to say if it's good or bad. It's just various types of weave.
Or a short, sassy cut.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And there's always a mixture of ages. I'm telling you, a call center is the great equalizer.
I was 18. Mac had 3 children, and all of the child support was being taken out his check. I told you all, this nigga would disappear every other Friday when we got paid at lunch and never come back until the following Monday. And because his checks were like $72 because they took all his child support out, the managers would just be like, let him be. The call center was also where I was working with that fat nigga Demetrius. No, I'm not body shaming. He was called a fat nigga Demetrius. And fat nigga Demetrius tried to come at me about some bullshit one day. And I told you, I asked that nigga, when's the last time you saw your dick? And fat nigga Demetrius hated me for the rest of his days. But
you know how there's like some bitch named Deltrice. You're somebody, some bitch named Jade.
Yeah, I am.
Like,
Let me tell you something. At so many jobs. Because the fat nigga Demetrius, I was 18, he was 36. And when I tell you I had that nigga tight, do you I had that nigga tight for the duration of my employment there. And when I left, I quit, and I quit ignorantly. I was like, you all enjoy this bum-ass job. I'm going to college.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's always a great equalizer. I was in my early 20s. My best friend was Miss Julia. She was pushing, like, in her 50s. She took me to my first 30 to Remember Club.
Oh.
Have you ever been to... Yeah, she snuck me in to the 25 and over club.
Yes.
Because she was like, you like them young people. You like the young people I like. I don't like them old young people. They get on my damn nerves. I was like, girl, same. So... She took me and Dennis to the old nigga club. Mm-hmm. And like I said, a place where they serve cask and cream, not Bailey's.
Oh so yeah, it was like it was like Shadow.
It was like Sugar Hill. That
it was like Sugar Hill. Okay. Yep.
Mm-hmm. 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 If you don't know what that is, if you live in Brooklyn, it's on DeKalb.
And if you don't feel like going that far over and you're still in Bed-Stuy, just look at Brown Sugar. Same element.
It's literally the same.
Same element.
Nigga Sylvia's. Everything is burgundy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They have carpet.
Some sort of velvet. Yeah. You can still smell where you used to be allowed to smoke in there.
Yeah, and it still smells like smoke because everything is upholstered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They like I got a Taylor Port because that's where else can you order that in real life?
Oh.
Anyway, where can you order Taylor Port in real life?
You can order it at a lot of places.
The brand like Taylor, not just port wine, but just like Taylor Port, like the one that comes in the jug.
When I worked, no.
Like Carlo Rossi.
Not Carlo Rossi. No. We just had a port.
Port is everywhere because it's
not the
sweet,
Carlo Rossi.
But like the Taylor.
Oh,
Port,
you can
like
order it at Olive Garden.
Oh.
That's also where they have the jugs of Lambrusco. See, and Dustin be trying to come at me for my Lambrusco. I don't drink that ghetto shit that y'all drink. I drink
not Carpaccio. That's
Riuniti.
Spumante. You know, I've made a year without alcohol. It's been
Hey! I made a day. I haven't had any today.
That's awesome.
Thanks.
But yes, call centers, they always have the shenanigans. We might have to do an episode on call centers, honestly.
I gotta find that bitch
Sawyer.
Tasha who tried to fight me in the parking lot. She was from the U.S. Virgin Islands. And she went to ITT Tech.
Oh my god!
And
If
she
it
was-
wasn't for one of
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go
No,
ahead.
you go ahead. I was gonna say, if it wasn't for one of my coworkers back then, Adam, he told me, he was like, either you need to make XD a business or focus on this. So I was like, girl, I'm not focusing on this. I was looking for the New York State Smokers Quit line at the time. So I was like, helping people quit smoking cigarettes or talking shit on the internet.
Oh,
I
no.
like talking shit on the internet.
I was a straight up bill collector, nigga. That's it.
Oh no.
I'm like, hey, you owe $832 on this bill, but for $473 at 50%, you can't settle.
You were the worst type of person.
This is an intent to collect a debt. Nigga, I had a cubicle, bitch. Like, no, I worked at a call center. Like, I worked at a collection agency. It was every matter of nigga in that establishment. And when I tell you, it is some of the most joy. I had when we talk about the sassy haircut, she used to come in and she'd be high off handlebars. I mean, mama,
Ooh.
yep. And what she would... And you know, at the call centers, the managers are managers, but they're not necessarily the brightest
No.
in the just because they managers.
They just happen to be right there at the right time.
Yep, or they just happen to be somebody's cousin and or somebody who's been working there for mad long. So, you know, when you're on the phone, they can monitor you. They can pick it up and monitor it at any given point. And I like to say that, especially like lower tiered call centers, like collection agencies where I work, the managers are reminiscent of overseers. They even chewed tobacco. Okay. And I worked this was in Houston. And they chewed tobacco and spit it in a coffee mug all day. It was the most wretched thing in the world. And so they would be able to pick up the phone at any point when you're making your calls. First of all, they can see how long in between calls you're taking breaks. So if you're not making consistent calls, they can see that shit. Hello, overseers. They spit in tobacco and shit. Hello, overseers. And then they can just pick up the phone and listen to your conversation at any point. So sometimes, you know, we have a little internal line. So if you want to call and see where somebody wants to go to lunch or whatever, right? So this bitch who used to come in high off handlebars will call me and speak in Pig Latin. And when I tell you the manager would get so fucking mad.
Oh my gosh.
Because she spoke fast. And he's like, stop speaking that shit. Yo.
That's like in Paris is Burning where they were speaking Pig Latin.
It was incredible. It would confuse the fuck out of him, and he would be so mad about it. And that's how we would get around the little system speaking Pig Latin on the phones. But I quit that bitch. I did not get fired. I quit that bitch happily. Walked out of there so ignorantly. Shall we do another tweet?
Do you have one?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The original tweet, by the way, that we put out was, hey, have you ever been fired from a job? Tell us your story. Either tweet us or send us a voice note here. And this particular response says, like when I got fired from anthropology because I went to the all-star party with you instead.
Not you getting niggas fired.
It was a good time. We also went to a basketball, like an NBA party at NASA, nigga. Like that was
what?
Me and Amber used to have some adventures. Let me tell you.
That's so random.
Sorry, sis. I didn't know you got fired.
You don't care.
I don't.
See?
Me and Amber ended up working together years later at Sony, and we used every Friday, like every other Friday, we would have liquid lunches. We go down to the bar, and then the other Fridays we would rent out the conference room for meetings, but we would really have liquid lunches in the conference room. Oh man, I'm a top-notch employee. What you got?
I have a break.
Oh yeah.
Let's take a break, and we'll be back after these messages.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Take this job and shove it. I ain't working here no more.
Is about how we're going to be doing a little house cleaning, some of the software people.
Well, Bob, I have heard that. You got to do what you got to do.
We're going to be getting rid of these people here. First, Mr. Samir. Okay. Not going to work here anymore.
Shove it. I ain't working here no more.
And we're back. So, we're going to listen to some voicemails. Some we don't, like normal black people, we don't check our voicemail. So we are finally checking our voicemails. And if you know, historically, we have called people back in the past. So if you keep hope alive, you might receive a phone call from us.
I think we're going to start doing live callbacks on Patreon.
We should, because we used to do them. We haven't done them in a while. So, not since at your old apartment.
No.
Yeah, so keep hope alive. Number is in the description box on Spotify. Okay? Let's hear what we have. This is from... this is from 2019. February 8th. This is from 2 years ago. How about that?
Okay, all right. Oh, yeah, we really black.
Yeah, okay. At 5:46 a.m.
Hello again, Jaden XD. I have a good story for you, in addition to my violent dream where I killed Chris Brown.
Whoa.
Wait, what the fuck?
So I am a university professor at the middle of nowhere, essentially. And I had to administer a large lecture hall exam. So my class has 200 plus students in it. Mm-hmm. And everybody's filing in. There's as many seats as there are people in this room, so it was like people are like packed in side by side. And of course, not everybody came to the exam, so there was room. So we were trying to me and the teaching assistants and my co-instructor were trying to break people up. So you move here, you move here. So I'm looking at this one particularly nasty clump of what looked like MAGA cheaters, essentially. And as I'm in the process of telling them to move, this one student just pukes all over the floor. And he's just puking. And I watched it come out of his mouth.
Oh, okay.
And then he just sort of sat there.
What?
And then no one around him did anything. And then I got him out. He's in the bathroom getting himself together. And the other students just sat there. I'm like, so you all want to take your test and puke?
What?
So I'm getting them out of there and moving around and trying to get everyone away from the vomit. And he comes in, the kid that puked, and just sat down and took his exams like nothing was fucking wrong.
A real one.
What the fuck?
He was sweating and had vomit all over him. And I was like, do you want to go home?
No, not do you want
and he's
to.
like, no, I'm good. I'll just sit down and take the exam. And he took the fucking exam. And that was the end of it.
A closer. A closer.
No, I feel that like no, I have to take this
No.
exam. I
No.
have to. If I am failing, if I need this to graduate, like I'm taking that exam. Now, if it's just an elective, I don't give a fuck. Then fuck it.
I don't care if you need this to graduate. No, I am the other student. If you need this grade to graduate, then you should have been working your black ass this whole time. Because what I won't do is take my exam in a throw-up room. No, I will not. This is a health hazard. Get this funky nigga out of here. No. Talk about, do you want to go home? No. You must go home now. And I need the custodians to come in here with the fucking sawdust and some air freshener and get this shit to get some bleach. Spray the room. I don't give a fuck. Get this nigga out of here. Care about you and your college livelihood. Go take care of yourself.
I mean,
no.
You know.
Y'all are
I
filthy.
guess.
No. No. Not you, caller. And I'm not even going to address what you said in the beginning of this.
I'm going to
Bye.
put a Mary J. Blige boot on that. And just squeeze along. Okay.
No,
we have
no.
a couple more.
Okay.
This is from July 27th, 2020.
Okay.
Oh, that's the butt dial. I'm lying. Take that out, Abe.
While you look for it, okay. I have. Oh, my bad.
Oh. No, go ahead.
I have another tweet.
Oh, go ahead.
Technically didn't get fired from this job, gave my notice, but HR came to my office during lunch and made me pack up my shit and escorted me out of the building. Rude. Got fired from my job and internship on the same day. NYU was on some shit. Whatever. Puerto Rico was a great time.
I know that's right.
Oh, I love y'all sometimes.
Okay. Let's listen here. This is from July 20th, 2019.
Yo. Hey, Jade. Hey, XD. I love
Hey.
you both. XD, you or me. A West Coast bitch. Surviving in the East Coast. And Jade, I love you.
Love you
You're the
too.
real one. A real one. But anyways, I just moved to Virginia a month ago, and I almost got sex trafficked, and I'm ready to go back to Arizona.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
I met this lady on the 4th of July, and she tried to set me up with this random nigga. I don't know who the fuck he is, but he sounded hood as fuck on the phone. And, you know, from my experience with hood niggas, they're usually worse. Or, you know, my experience with niggas, period, they're usually worse off than what you hear on the phone. So I ran the fuck out. But guess what? I blocked her, and she's calling me from different numbers. She's messaging me from different numbers and asking me what I'm doing. I'm scared, but you know what? It's good. She doesn't know where I live. She doesn't know my real name, and I'm a survivor. I'm just gonna dream girls this shit and make it work. Because oh, that bitch, you know, staying indoors. I'm wanting the office. I'm surviving, you know. I go to work every morning. I'm just living my best life and listening to you guys on Fridays. But anyways, I love you too. Keep doing what you're doing. And I will be out of this. I'm not going to say it's a hellhole because Virginia, while it is the head of the Confederate, it offers beautiful beaches. It's reasonably priced. There's a Walmart within 1 mile of every area in which you stop. So, you know,
That's
it
not something to
is
advertise.
Sounds good.
America, what we think of, or what foreigners think of as America. Anyways, stay black and die. I love you
Wait, what?
so much. Thank you.
Okay, so what I've learned when listening to these things is like you all get real drunk, high.
Let me tell you something.
I'm actually concerned. With, you know what I mean? I'm not judging. I'm just saying I'm a little concerned.
I'm not,
but you know, I'm not concerned really. I'm just joking. But I'm just saying I've noticed y'all get a lot of liquid or green courage.
Mostly green.
Yeah. So, and it's very entertaining.
She said stay black and die.
Yeah.
No, bitch, live.
Yeah, well, I don't know. That's my grandmother said. All I got to do is stay black and die. But I do have something to comment on it, but from that voicemail. It's always a setup when your homie hook you up with somebody via phone.
Y'all watch Love After
my homeboy
Lockup?
want to talk to you.
Yep.
Oh, you sound kind of cute.
Yeah.
What you look like? Halle Berry.
Mm.
Knowing damn well you look like a Buick. So, let me tell you about the time I got catfished about this guy who said he looked like Tyrese.
What? You told me you got catfished before, but
I've been catfished. Oh, honey, I could write a book. So, I got catfished by a guy who had an 800 number.
Oh,
now,
God.
I should have known. However, it was 2005. I didn't know any better. I was 20. No, I was 19 at the time. So, I met this guy off BGC Live, which has been coming up a lot lately. But at the time, BGC, it was old. It was a brown website. That's how old it was.
Mm-hmm.
So I met this dude, and you know, at the time, I was one of those people who are like, I'm mature for my age.
I'm not
you
surprised.
know what I mean? Oh, absolutely. Yeah, granted, I was, you know, I've always been this way, but looking back, I'm like, nigga, you were young as shit, and you wore white pants all the time. You know.
There's some nigga nutted on it, pride.
Yeah, you know what I mean? There's just some things to put into perspective, you know? And so I met this guy. He didn't have any pictures, but he was like, yo, I look like Tyrese. People say I look like Tyrese. And I was like, okay, like an older nigga. He was like older than I was, let's say that. And looking back, it was rather problematic. So, but he was like, I'm going to take you out. I'm going to, you know, dinner and a movie. All I want to do is take you to dinner and a movie. Cool. I was in school at the time. So, and I was in between dating niggas or whatever. So I was in school in Connecticut. So I went down to the city and this nigga waited. Like, he stood me up, sort of. I waited for this nigga for 4 hours.
What?
At the Starbucks on 42nd and 8th.
Ew.
I know, next to the AMC, or across from the AMC.
Uh-huh.
This nigga finally shows up.
I would have been left.
I know, but I was young and dumb and open and thirsty.
Okay.
And, you know, I admit it, you know. I was
Fair
stupid.
enough.
I was in the wrong.
Fair enough.
But, so this nigga finally show up, and he looked like, how would I?
Careful.
Like, no. How he looked like an uncle, like a standard issued uncle,
like old boy on Love After Lockup, Chicago Cat Daddy.
Yeah, but I would have been into that, like, because at least he would have had like the charisma,
the
I don't
nigga
know.
essence.
But, yeah, but he was from New Jersey.
Oh. Like, give me a caliber of uncle.
I'm trying to think, like
Samuel L. Jackson, like
nah. It's like I want to talk about one of my old coworkers.
Like Cedric the Entertainer, like Steve Harvey, like I don't know, Verdine White.
I'm trying to give you like a
George Costanza. I don't fucking.
No, he gave like gosh. I see his face vividly and I know exactly who to compare him to, but you would not know him. He looked like you know who he would give like a younger version of John Witherspoon.
Oh.
Right.
Like
not in a good way, if that was to be a good way.
The fashion.
Well, I mean, he wore like a jort and like oversized. It was 2005, so it was questionable fashions along.
What was he wearing? FUBU?
Again. No, I just remember it was hot as hell that day, and I remember he
had on a jersey.
No, he had on an oversized white tee and jorts and J's. And I was like, this isn't going to work. So we went to eat first, DK. And I was like, let me go to the bathroom. and
that was the last
I
time you
slipped
saw
and
him.
I dipped and I yawed, trick. And that's exactly what happened. Yeah.
I've never been catfished, but I almost kind of wish I had been.
It's not fun.
No, just, it's an experience.
Like I have a lot of catfishing stories, ones that are very problematic that I can't tell.
Oh, no,
here.
no, I already, no, you cannot. I've had the Halle Berry, I've had the Hennessy goggles before. I told you all about Chipoodles.
Oh yeah, we've all had like
yeah, but as far as like a full blown catfish, I don't think.
Catfish. We know it as a type of fish that has a large head and whiskers. But in the sea of social media, catfish is defined as someone who pretends to be someone they're not online.
I also have never met niggas like, I've never been on a
But
dating
you don't
site
meet
in my
niggas on
life.
the internet like that.
I know, so maybe that's why. Because I meet niggas like on the street.
Yeah.
At work, you know what I'm saying?
See, women could do that. Gays gotta go through the underground.
No, I get it. It's a
internet.
privilege. It's a privilege. It's a privilege. Wait, well, I'm curious. I'm sorry. No, we can't. I'm not trying to get you canceled.
No.
Mm-mm.
I have been, let's just say I have been, people have presented themselves in manners of which they said that they were, and they definitely weren't.
And see, and now people are using your picture for catfish.
Right, which is so weird because no, I'm not going to share my L's on the internet. But But I just think it's funny how my look is in fashion now. But when I was, you know, ready to be picked, I wasn't picked. You know what I mean? So I just think it's funny how I am 20 years later, I am in vogue.
Yeah, you are, nigga. You are fashion forward.
And that's fine.
Should we close out with one more voicemail?
Yeah. One more. This is our final voicemail. Again, please call us. Our voicemail is in the numbers in the description box wherever you're listening. We'll do more of these again. Here's our last one.
Hey there, next me. It's Teresa, aka Risha if you want to call me. And I just need to tell y'all how white people have fucked up my day and my week. So I was supposed to get my hair done at 5 o'clock this morning, but there was a scuttlebutt between me and my stylist. So she was only able to break me down, and she let me borrow a wig till I get off of work. So I had like a scarf turban thing. It was really cute. It was a look. So this white lady came to my desk. You know, we can't wear scarves and stuff like that. So they made me take my scarf off, exposing this questionable ass closure and shit. and I can't do nothing because I got Meek Mill braids going on up in this goddamn wig, cap showing and shit. As you can tell, I'm aggravated, just ready to get my damn sew in together so I can smash this fucking wig. I don't know how these motherfuckers do that shit every day. This shit is tight. Okay? But hopefully y'all having a better day than me. Alright? Hope y'all have a good ass weekend. Cause it's my birthday weekend. My birthday is on Tuesday on March 19th. So, all my Pisces stand up. Okay, I'm doing too much now. I'm going to talk to y'all later. Bye!
Ew, 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 ew.
She goes, all right.
That was from 2 years ago. We played all these messages from 2 years ago. I hope they still listen.
Oh, shit. I know, right? They might hate us by now. I'm going to tell you what I want to do is call the young lady who we opened the show with and figure out. Let me tell you all. This bitch called, sang this song and hung up. She ain't say shit. She didn't say nothing. She just called and sung and hung up. She just begged it on Jada NXT. We should call her.
Okay. Let me
because I just want to know what was the reason.
Let's call her. Or does star 67 still work? Okay.
She ain't gonna answer no block call.
You're right.
Anybody who listens to this is not answering a block call.
You're right. Okay.
I don't know who this is.
I know. They might have Sprint, so it takes forever to answer the phone.
Now she.
Please leave your message for. Hi, this is Brandy. I can't get to the phone right now, so just a little voicemail. Alright, bye.
Hey, Brandy, it's XD.
And Jade.
Just let you know that we put your voicemail on our show this week.
Why the fuck didn't you even say nothing at all? You didn't say nothing. You just sang a song and hung up. What the fuck?
Well, thank you for calling and listening. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. Well, that's a good way to close the show.
Right. So, remember Patreon, $7 holla. Everywhere you can find us is in the description below. And, yeah.
We'll see you niggas next time.
Yeah. Adios.
Bye.
Yes, we're moving on.